It is not by chance that you arrived here today. You've been looking for something larger than yourself. Inside of you, there is a yearning, a calling, a hope for more, a desire for a place of belonging and caring.
Through your struggles, someone nurtured you into being, instilling a belief in a shared purpose, a common yet precious resource that belongs to all of us when we share. And so you began seeking a beloved community.
A people that does not put fences around love.
A community that holds its arms open to possibilities of love.
A heart home to nourish your soul and to share your gifts.
Welcome home. Welcome to worship.
My name is Pam Romancic. I am a cisgendered queer woman whose pronouns are she and hers. I'm also married to Karen Mooney, this person who will be joining me in serving your minister in the coming year. It's a new experience for both this congregation and for Karen and myself, but we're all approaching it with wonder and open-hearted curiosity and trust that we will all learn and grow something throughout the experience. The board has been communicating this change in many ways, but sometimes it's still taking people by surprise, which is why we're being very intentional about it today. Later on in the service, you're going to have a chance to ask questions of both myself and Karen, any that might be bubbling up. So if you're new to Countryside, know that this church is open to the beauty of each and every unique individual. No matter who you love, no matter where your ancestors come from, no matter how you express yourself in the world, you are welcome here.
Good morning. Good morning. Within the heart of the flower, the fountain of beauty. Within the heart of the community, a fire that warms and dances. Within the heart of each of us, a spark of the spirit of life. Holy, holy, holy. My name is Leslie Pete, and my pronouns are she and her. Our church shares a covenant that we make with one another, a promise that helps to remind us of why we gather and how we want to be with one another. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in saying our covenant together and remain standing for the opening hymn. We unite to strengthen the bonds of kinship among all persons, to promote human dignity and to increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power through worship, study, and service.
Good morning, everybody. It's so good to see you on this beautiful Flower Communion Sunday. We are going to do things a little bit out of order because we've got a lot going on today, and so we're going to start right now with Wonder Box. But I'm going to invite all the kids to stay in your seats because there's so much going on up here. I think it'd be easier. And so let us all take just a few moments of wondering what could be in the Wonder Box today. Any ideas? Okay, there's some ideas. Yes. A flower, Benji. Yes. What about you? Xander, something. That is your weekly guess. Okay, Reese. Something. You're okay. How about you? A field of grass. All amazing guesses. Okay. A squirrel. We have to have that guess. That's great. Who's going to come up and open up my box today? How about Benji? Go ahead. Oh, or William, can you come? You can come up with Benji.
It's okay. So wait for Benji. Wait for Benji. He's going to help you.
All right. What do you think? A squirrel.
Squirrel with.
Tell you, I now have a collection of squirrels in my office.
Now will come the part where we start guessing which squirrel is in the Wonder Box. Okay, who's paying attention? So, once upon a time, a long, long time ago, 102 years ago. Is anybody here 102? Anybody here knows somebody who's 102? Known someone who was 102? Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, so once upon a time, in a city called Prague in Czechoslovakia, which is also a long way away, in the year 1923, there was this little church, and this little church was very, very plain. There were no candles, there was no art, there was no carpet on the floor, there were nothing like this. I mean, no flowers, there was no piano, there were a lot of people, but that was about it. It was just plain, and the people said, you know what, we are plain, our church is plain, this is fine. Okay, so the church did have one important thing. They had a minister. Sorry. His name was Norbert Čapek. Norbert Čapek was the minister of this tiny, very small church, and he talked and he had wonderful things to say, and the people would come and they'd listen to him and they'd talk amongst themselves, and then they'd go home. But they never had music, they never had food, they never had cocoa, they never had coffee. Oh, that's sacrilege. Minister Norbert Čapek, we're going to skip by that one really quick, said that maybe we could have some music. So he wrote some songs and they sang them. Isn't that amazing? And then one spring day, he was walking around. I'm going to see if I can do this. Here we go. Are we on? Yes. Yay. He was walking around the city of Prague, and it had rained the night before. And he was just walking through everything, and he saw all of these beautiful flowers that had just opened up in the spring. And he looked, he was like, my gosh, look at the mountains in the background. They're just stunning. Everything here is beautiful, and I want for my church to look beautiful too. Sir Norbert picked a bunch of the flowers that he had there, and he brought them back to his church. Here you go. You're going to make flowers for us. Awesome. He brought them back to his church, and he said, here you go, Jess. Can you pass that back? Thank you. And he said, you know what? Just like these flowers, our people here are just as beautiful and full and wonderful and incredibly different. We are not all the same. We are not plain. We are not here just, there you go, thank you. These fold out like this to make a flower. Anybody else? Yeah, there you go, David. Anybody else want a flower? Here you go, Mari. And so he brought all the flowers that he had picked, all the different ways, and he brought them all into the church, and the people came for the service the next Sunday, and they said, wow, look, our church can be beautiful as well, and we don't fall down, that's good. Our church can be beautiful as well. And he sermonized and he talked, and the people came forward and took a flower home with them to remind themselves that beauty can be found anywhere that we look. That beauty can be found in the walls of a church, outside the walls of the church, inside ourselves, outside ourselves when we're looking to other people. That beauty is what we bring into the world when we seek to find it. So, Norbert Čapek, 102 years ago, started this beautiful thing that we're going to do today, called Flower Communion, when all of us bring in things from the wild, and then we share from the abundance with one another. Like those people in that faraway land, you've brought beautiful flowers, and you've brought your beautiful selves into this church. Welcome. We're glad that you're here.
And then we're going to bless these flowers with the blessing that Norbert Čapek wrote for his ceremony. It has some very old-fashioned language to go with it, but as we bless these flowers today, I think we can hold the meaning in our heart. So it comes from our hymnal number 724. And I'm going to read this poem, and your response is going to be, may these flowers be blessed. Infinite Spirit of life, I ask you to everyone put your hands up towards these flowers and send all the love that's in your heart to bless these flowers and go home with every person that takes them home. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessings on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May these flowers be blessed. May they remind us amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May these flowers be blessed. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May these flowers be blessed. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts. May these flowers be blessed. May we let not the awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. May these flowers be blessed. Thank you.
The reading today is Making Community in the Modern World by Ram Dass and Paul Gorman. What is it that so touches us about a single caring act or a life surrendered into service? Perhaps we see our deepest yearnings reflected in others, and this encourages us to believe in our own purity and beauty. These are no longer just ideals to strive for. We can reach them. We can be that way. Images of compassion beckon and encourage us onward. Each time we drop our masks and meet heart to heart, reassuring one another simply by the quality of our presence, we experience a profound bond which we intuitively understand is nourishing everyone. Each time that we quiet our mind, our listening becomes sharp and clear, deep and perceptive. We realize that we know more than we thought we knew and can reach out and hear, as if from inside, the heart of someone's pain. Each time we are able to remain open to suffering, despite our fear and defensiveness, we sense a love in us which becomes increasingly unconditional. We can see in this mosaic of limitations and strength a still deeper teaching. Common to all those habits which hinder us is a sense of separateness. We are divided within ourselves and cut off from others. Common to all those moments and actions which truly seem to help, however, is the experience of unity. The mind and the heart work in harmony. Barriers between us dissolve. Thus ends the reading.
With that as our lead-in, I'm going to invite all of the people who are joining the church this Sunday, if you've signed the book in the last few months, to come on up and stand across the front of the church, the chancel here. And I'd also like to invite all of our membership committee. Thank you. I could have just, kinship was staying, and Lisa Gilly, our board president. And I think, so we'll get you all lined up here.
Well, I can't be the only one up here. Thank you.
Just welcome. This is awesome. Isn't this kind of cool? Yeah. Let's do it again. Okay, today, our community is enlarged in both numbers and spirit by the people who are joining us. You join a community of people who believe that we become our truest and best selves in community and in relationship. We are seekers, explorers, comforters, kindred souls. We are fragile human beings who unite to fashion lives of meaning and purpose.
We don't offer any answers. Well, we might offer opinions, but we don't offer any answers, but a safe space to question. We don't offer dogma, but a place to open exploration. We don't offer a promise of heaven, even here on earth, but we do offer a place to live fully into this life and to experience the promise of each new day. We welcome the gifts that you bring. I know some of them already, and they are amazing. And we welcome your presence, and we will endeavor to invite you to undertake giving some of those gifts with us. Thank you.
We invite you to join in our pursuit of justice and to share in our spiritual journey, to challenge us in our complacencies, and to help us reflect on the meaning of our Unitarian Universalist heritage. We ask you to walk with us in freedom, to trust your own wisdom, to share with us your hopes and fears, to lift up your joys and your sorrows, and to allow us to grow and change, even as your presence helps us to grow and change as well.
We have some words that we hopefully will be up on that the congregation can say. Please join us. We rejoice. I'm going to invite you all to sing number 318, which is We Would Be One. We'll all sing that one together. I should have put the words. Welcome to our congregation. I charge you to hold our religious society close to your hearts and to work to keep it vital and alive. This church is the church of ourselves. Its energy and its resources are our energy and resources. And I charge the congregation to welcome and accept our new members with joy, for they are flowing streams in this river of community. I charge every one of us to treat one another with compassion, with understanding, with deep and abiding love. And new members, you have something in there. It's your turn.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Countryside Church Unitarian Universalist, I welcome you into membership and full participation in this community. We hope to earn your trust and come to know you in this covenantal community of faith.
There's one more for the congregation. There you go. We welcome you. All right. Yay! All right, you can go sit down, but come back up for flowers. But you don't have to give away your roses.
One of the budget items raised the panel items in the time and talent auction was renewing church landscaping with native plants. Lillian Schnitzler, one of the folks who's always outside working in the yard, sent us this update. I hope everyone will take the time to notice our baby lance leaf coreopsis plants that are blooming in the new garden in front of the church. Some of you may know that one of the many reasons we decided to convert this area into native plant gardens is to support critical biodiversity in our community. Here are a few of the pollinators who are supported by the species of plants. The wavy-lined emerald moth uses coreopsis plants as one of the host plants, meaning it needs coreopsis species, among others, in its larvae to survive. Coleophora, a Compto poppy, thank you, is another species of small moths that use coreopsis as a host plant. As far as scientists know, coreopsis is the only genre that this species uses as a host plant in our area. So little is known about this species, but it doesn't even have a common name. Wow. It's too bad. And in case you're wondering why we should care about these moths, you may have never seen or heard of, it is because biodiversity is a critical part of our ecosystem and its functioning, and our ecosystems, and if our ecosystem ceases to function, so will we. Thank you to Lillian, Suri, Peggy, Mike, and all the folks helping to keep our church home very beautiful and sustainable. Giving thanks is an important part of living in the covenant, self-supporting community. Your financial gifts show gratitude for how our congregation supports us all. We are widely grateful for you and of this support. Without you, our mission is to spread this faith of love could not evolve. The offering will now be gratefully received.
I invite you to put your feet flat on the ground. Take a deep breath in, let your shoulders drop. Let any anxiety that's still left in your body just drain down your shoulders, down your spine, hips, knees, ankles, out the bottoms of your feet into the rich, dark earth below us. Breathe in and breathe out. I have a poem by Lisa Doge about flowers. So you can keep your eyes closed, or you can open them and just observe our beautiful flowers on the table here that have been shared by so many people today. No hothouse flowers these, bred for perfection, dyed and trimmed, arranged to order, clothed in ribbons and bows. No, not these. These are hardy, raw, and wild. Grown under the sky, they've weathered the wind and the rain and the heat. These drew nutrients from the neighborhood soil and energy from the sun. They survived pests and disease. These grow where they were planted by loving hands, or by the whim of birds, or the caprice of the breeze. They have petals washed by dew, glowing with the colors of the hills, the sea, the prairies, and the rocks. Their delicate perfume carries it in the fragrance of the earth. No, not perfect these, only holy, a blessing to the eye and heart and soul. In this space of being gathered with wide open hearts, we recognize and remember the joys and concerns of this community. If you have something either dancing or weighing on your heart, please remember to come and share it with us so that we can either celebrate or help you carry your burdens. We start off with Matt's dad, John, who's beginning treatment for leukemia. Hold his family and send them prayers of love and care as they go back and forth to the Mayo Clinic. We offer congratulations to Nancy Frank and Cindy Thornton as they celebrate their 10th wedding anniversary month. In 2015, they had a courthouse ceremony, and on June 27th, they had a big celebration. Congratulations, Cindy and Nancy. Last Sunday was also filled with lots of joys by best count, and people kept moving, so we think they had about 60 people marching in the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. There were a number of families also waving along the route. It was a wonderful experience. And back here at church, a bunch of people were outside weeding the grounds and making room for those moths. And a few folks were in the Atherton Hall doing tasks for our E-department, and David cleaned and organized the kitchen. My goodness. It was truly a special service Sunday. We celebrate with Allison, who came through her surgery with a lot of support from folks at the church. And we offer special thanks to Kim Frank, who drove her and picked her up and went above and beyond. Congratulations. Another joy is the new church website, which has been stewarded through by Elizabeth Van Orden and Jerome McDonald and a bunch of Lori Lance and others. It's still getting the final touches, but it is beautiful. So there's even a form. So if you're going through and looking at how beautiful it is and you find something that needs to be fixed, there's a form you can fill out. So just contact Lori if that's something you'd like to take part in. Finally, for all those intentions which remain in the secret sanctuary of our hearts, know that you are held, you are loved. I invite you to sing Spirit of Life.
Spirit
As I mentioned in the beginning of the service, it's going to be different. This next year is going to be different. And I'm going to continue serving as your minister 3/4 time, as your contract minister. And Reverend Karen is going to take up that extra quarter time of ministry while continuing to work 25 hours as your director of religious exploration. So Karen and I have very different charisms for ministry. We complement each other pretty darn well. And the board and we think that it's going to be something good for the church and for all of us. We're kind of excited about it. And we're going to kind of split up the areas of the church. So Karen will be taking on adult faith development and kinship, and I'll maintain pastoral care, stewardship, justice matter, and the biggest part of worship, although we'll share worship times as well. She'll preach a few more times, and we'll use this next year to hone the search for a new RE director in the following year. So with everything that was going on with today's service, we decided we would do a question box service today, even though we're not having the box. But you understand the concept. So Mari and Ed have microphones, so if you guys want to, think of a question you have about our coming ministry for the coming year and raise your hand, you can. But either of us, this is my wife. We just passed our 10-year anniversary. Last year. we met in seminary. Karen has a long, wonderful story that she will share with you. I'm not going to try to remember it all by heart, because for sure, when I'm standing on my feet, I forget everything. But do you want to say anything short?
Give me the microphone. So I come to you with a lineage of Unitarian Universalism. I'm a fourth-generation Unitarian Universalist. My great-grandmother, was one of the founding members of the St. Louis Church. I didn't know that until I was probably 23 or 24 years old, so who knows? Well, I don't know whether it really made a difference in our family. And I worked as in information technology and in marketing for many years at a place called Aon Corporation downtown in Chicago. And on September 11th, our offices were in the top stories of the second building that was hit. And when I went to visit that site, I walked around it and I said, my people died because they were filing papers and having meetings about things that we thought were really important but probably weren't. And I didn't want to die in that place, and I went to my then manager and said, this job is really good for my ego, but it's not so good for my soul. And I made a decision to make a change in what I was working on and to start saving for 5 years to go back for a call in ministry that I had heard way back when I was in my 20s, and was able to realize that by going to Meadville Lombard. The story of Pam and Myers meeting is a longer one. I've served in ministry for about 15 years now. I've served as a minister down in Beverly Unitarian on the south side of Chicago, which has all kinds of interesting stories in it, and that area of the city has all kinds of interesting stories with it. And I served as the founding minister of UU Prison Ministries of Illinois. Also served as a minister within the UU Advocacy Network of Illinois, and then went into hospice work for a little while. And then because I really love my wife and I love kids, and I actually think that how it is that we grow together makes such a huge difference in this world. When Pam called me last fall and said, there's a need, I said, how can I help? So that's how I find myself here. So the question now is, what questions do you all have for us? We are in a moment in the world. I see one back there already. Awesome. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm just wondering what happens to our ministry after next year.
That's what the conversation that's going on after church is going to be about.
Can you repeat the question? Because I'm not sure that I heard it.
What happens to our ministry after next year?
Right. So what the question was, what happens to our ministry after next year? And that is indeed what you all will be talking about in your time after this service. That is a question that is present for all of you. What does ministry mean? What does it look like? What do you want? What is the world calling for? And what does this community call for that is in need of that leadership of pastor and minister? And that question will be part of a conversation that Pam and I have with all of you. And in the relationship that we've built this year, we will come together and try to find some answers that fit both what your needs are, which are primary in this congregation. I want to make sure that's clear. Your needs are the primary source. You are the life and breath of this. You are the flowers. We are sort of the vases, I think, in some ways. We'll use that metaphor. But really that, and then we'll have a conversation. Good question, though. Thank you. Come on, there's got to be something.
This isn't a question, it's a compliment. You both compliment each other so well. And we are blessed in this congregation to have you both here. Thank you.
What if something sad happens in my life on a Thursday? Who do I call?
You just call the office as usual. You will have both of our numbers. We will each have our areas, and we will also be flexible. So there is not, I think Karen has been doing pastoral care with the RE department all year, and all the families. So I think it'll just be an expansion of what we've already been doing in some ways.
Are you going to talk to each other?
Are we going to stop talking to each other? Is that what you're asking? Are we going to talk to each other? Is that what you said?
Yes. Are you? Yep. If I tell one of you that, my doggy passed away or something, will you tell the other one? Or if we want the other one to know, do we need to call them, or can we tell you that we'd like you to let the other one know also?
Thank you.
This is a communication question.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that question. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We talk all the time, and we talk mostly about the things that we forget all the time. So if you want information to come to both of us, please tell both of us. Please, please, please tell both of us. And if you are in a pastoral care moment with somebody and you want to make sure that that is something that is honored with only that individual, please let us know. Because in general, because we're both ministers and we are ministers to all of you, we may share some of the stories that we have heard. The reason for this is because we are walking, we are journeying with each of you. And there will be times when Pam is not here and I am, and it would break my heart to not know something that was going on that was in need of even just being held. Even if no words are said, even if nothing is done specifically, know that you are held. Know also, though, that we are held and bound within a ministerial covenant with ourselves, that your stories are yours. They are fiercely yours. Even if we share them with one another for pastoral support, they do not get shared with other people. Does that answer your question, Melanie? Thank you. Thank you. And Lillian, yeah.
Hi. I was wondering if you have different, themes in your ministry that each of you like to cover, or particular goals in your ministry that are different from one another.
I think we have we have different interests. We have different things that draw us forward, different things that we get excited about. I think I am much more of a contemplative, and my wife is a let's go out and have a party, or let's go change the world. So we kind of cover a full spectrum of that, if that makes any sense. And so yes, we do have different themes. And I will say for sure that my wife makes my sermons better every Sunday because I talk through things, and she never says that's stupid, but she does say, did you think of this, or did you come up with that? And so that will continue happening.
Yeah, please.
You said before, this is a two-way street, of course. I mean, and there are things that we do, committees, service to the church.
Hold your mic just a
I'm
little
talking
closer.
as loud as I can. I've been sick for
no,
a while.
no.
Please.
If you hold the mic just a little closer. Thank you, Adam.
I'm also trying to keep somebody who uses this next from getting sick, please. You said before, that this is definitely a two-way street, and I agree. And there are things that we do, committees, service positions here at the church, those kinds of things. But what can we do to make your experience with us on a personal level better, easier, more fulfilling?
So the question that I heard was, what can we do to make your experience here easier, better, more connected? Is that?
What can they do to make
What can you do to make our experience better? Wow. So I want to say, yesterday, and I may get emotional, I don't know if this is clear to anybody here yet, but I wear my heart on my sleeve. So when something really touches me, I will cry. And I want you to know that if this is true for you as well, it is okay, right? There's this huge thing in the world of, in particular in this kind of world, where we're not supposed to show emotions. God forbid, right? We lop off our dog's tails so that they won't show fear, right? We make their ears shorter so that they won't be hidden. So anyway, yesterday the RE Council met for about 3.5 hours to talk about all kinds of different things that were going on and what we were planning for the next year. And one of the things that we did was say what we were grateful for for this last year. And I had to tell them how incredibly grateful I have been for anybody that has stepped up and shown up for RE or for the thing that we're doing on Sunday evenings or for any of them. I mean, you all are really an amazing congregation because you know how to care. And I want you to know how really special that is. There are a lot of people who gather. There are all kinds of people in the world who gather, right? You gather under a banner, we gather under a name, but there are not very many people who know how to gather and actually care for one another. Because in caring for one another, it takes not just looking at what's happening for you, it takes for what's happening to the other person. And sometimes we might not feel like we have enough energy to do that. But this congregation shows up. Some of you show up like this because that's as much as you can, and some of you show up like this. And all of it is fabulous and amazing and a gift. So it's so funny that you would ask that question because I feel like we are so well taken care of here. It's just amazing. And we wake up most often asking how we can take care of each other because we are both a little bit more overfunctioners than we should be, just FYI. Yeah. And how to care for all of you, right? What's going to make this service just a little better for everybody that's here? So I hope that gives you some sort of an answer. Thank you.
Yes, I would agree. Are there any other? We're running, maybe we have time for maybe one more if there is one more. There you go.
I just had a question about, UUA in general, and as we approach, this coming year, I'd like to hear your sense of maybe the top 3 things that this congregation needs to focus on to hit a brighter world in 10 years. You know, where are we going? Yeah. And if, maybe 6, because there's 2 of you. So I get that. Go as you will.
6. Oh, that's, my goodness. What would I say? This is one of those places where you have a spectrum in the 2 of us. I believe that we are in a space that's a natural cycle of the natural world, and that in some ways our association is selling us something when it tells us we can save the world, because I think that is giving us way more power than we possibly have, and that we have to live in relationship and in agency within the world as it behaves. And there's a lot in the world that we have no control over, and my focus is on grounding ourselves the best we can in what this experience of being human is, in grounding ourselves in our relationships with one another, because that's how we're going to get through anything we get through. And I'm really focused on the idea of emergence, which says that when conditions are harsh, living beings kind of go underground and hold on to their health and vitality until conditions change. And that's the vision that I bring with the larger world, is that we will create as much strength and joy and vitality and ability to live within this still beautiful and amazing world and not forget that. That's the vision I bring, that I share with Karen, but that she might have a little bit more forward. Did you want to speak? Yes. Good.
We're still learning about each other. I think that Pam and I talk about emergence a lot, actually. The thing that I would add to what Pam has just said, it is critical, I feel like, in this time, and anybody that's been in the class on Thursday nights, this will be an echo for you. It is critical for us to know who we are, what we value, and what we believe, right? Because in particular as Unitarian Universalists who do not have a dogma or a creed that we read every single week, it is critical for us to know what it is we believe, and to have a set of values that we can say in our sleep if we need to, right? I value creativity, I value kindness, I value integrity. Those are my 3 central values. And I keep them with me and take and walk with me all and through everything that I do. And I really want that for all of you. If you don't know what your values are, when somebody comes forward that may look like they're doing something that you don't like or would want to do differently, which, you know, I mean, let's say you lived in LA today, right? If you don't know what your values are, then you have no capability of immediately responding to what it is that's going on in front of you. So that's the piece that I really focus on in my ministry. I know that a lot of I can get what I call my uppity on. You know, anybody that saw me at the rally for first just say no rally, and that's all good. It does not matter whether or not I can get my uppity on. What matters is whether or not you know what you would take the risk for, and how you would show up when, not if, but when you are called to. And I want that for all of our kids too, right? I want our kids to know. There's a story that I won't name the people, but there's a story of one of our young people was invited into bullying another child at their church. Or not at their church, at their school. And this person started putting notes into their pockets and saying, you should be saying this. And the young person came back and said, I'm not ever going to do this. Can you imagine the pride, the gratitude of that parent to know that their child knew enough to know what to say when faced with a bully, I want that for every single person in this room. I actually want it for all of us. Thank you.
You can see why I like her. You can see why I like her. We are at a place now where we are going to begin our flower communion. That is a time when we've contemplated this beauty inherent in each of these blossoms and the beauty that's inherent in each being and person, each person in this room. Flower Communion Sunday brings a plain and simple message of how the beauty of community just fills each of us, and each and every one of us brings our own unique gifts. It reminds us of a garden that is healthier and more sustainable than a monoculture, where everything looks the same and competes for the same resources. In our reading today, we heard that each time we drop our mask and meet heart to heart, reassuring one another simply by the quality of our presence, we experience a profound bond which we intuitively understand is nourishing everyone. Each of us is on this earth for a very short bit of time, and with all my heart, I believe that we are having an experience of being human in this dimension of matter and energy, and the best thing that we can do is to shine forth who we are.
For our chalice extinguishing, we have number 456 by Elizabeth Sell Jones. Please join in saying our closing words together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. Please rise in spirit or body and sing our closing hymn, number 29.
It is here we must begin to seek the wisdom of children and the graceful way of flowers in the wind. For children and the flowers are my sisters and my brothers. Their laughter and their loveliness could clear a cloudy day. Like the music of the mountains and the colors of the rainbow, they promise of the future and a blessing for today. And the song that I'm singing is a prayer to non-believers. Come and stand beside us. We can find a better way. Thanks so much for being here today, for all the beauty that you bring and all the beauty you share in the world.